only other thing about the Mustangs right now is they've been actually pretty banged up for the past couple games. Their last scrimmage, they lost two of their starting running backs in number 12 Clinton Phage, and also in Trevin Pedersen, number 5. Trevin actually will be suited up to play in the game today, but had a little bit of a shoulder issue coming into the week, so limited practice for him. But right now the running duties will be handled by number 20 Ace Tisserand, a sophomore up on varsity, number 16 Henry Padilla, and also, like I said, at their starting tailback, number 2 Robert Prather.
Okay, so that's what we're looking at for the game this year. This is the last season for Mother Lode League football for Argonaut.
Right.
There's a mix. There's a whole change up next year with the leagues as they're changing over, and so it'll be interesting. Sonora obviously coming into the year. Since they've come into the league in 2014, they've lost one league game, and they're obviously the favorite for the Mother Lode League again this year. They play Oakdale tonight, which is their traditional matchup for back when they were in the Valley Oak League. So they always start their season around the league. Calaveras opens at home against Stone Ridge Christian. Somerville is at Gustine. Amador on the road at Forest Hill. First time they've fielded a team since Game 3 of last year. Some good young talent there. Blankenheim is a quarterback. Looking for some good things from them. And, of course, Argonaut here at home in Douglas. If you want to look, and preseason rankings don't really mean a lot, but if you look at the section rankings, obviously Sonora is at the top in the section, ranked at number 26, Somerville at number 40. Calaveras, which I really don't understand because of the struggles that they've had in their program in the last couple of years, is at 123. Amador 134. Argonaut comes in at 100. So we'll see how this plays out. The captains are out on the field for the coin toss right now. As we look out there, as I mentioned earlier, the captains, Robert Prather, number 62, Gage Wise, number 64, Caleb Wilson, and number 44, that is Jake Todden for the Mustangs. We're looking at the coin toss now. We'll see how this is going to proceed tonight. I'm watching. The White Hats got a lot to talk about tonight.
You know, they had a lot to talk about during our coin toss as well.
So there it is. So they're lining up. Douglas has won the toss, and they have elected to kick. So Argonaut will be receiving to start this game. That's how this first game is going to get started. We're going to bow out. A word from our sponsors, hear the national anthem, and we'll be back. Week 1 of Mother Lode League football, the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas Tigers. Stay tuned, everybody. We're excited. We hope you are too. We'll be back.
A longtime supporter of youth activities in Amador County, the folks at Camps Propane hope you enjoy tonight's high school football action on Hometown Radio. Visit Camp's showroom on Highway 88 in Pioneer. Ask about the EC Saver program and senior discounts available. And you'll never run out of gas again with Camp's Smart System Tank Monitoring program. They also carry a complete line of RV supplies, gas refrigerators, and barbecues. For more information, visit Camps Propane in Pioneer or their website at campspropane.com.
Hey, let's play some football. Mark Borchin here with Glass Doctor. We are so excited that you're doing what you love. When you need auto glass, windshields, and calibration, call Glass Doctor. Ask about our windshield protection plan. And for shower enclosures, foggy, broken windows in your home or business, please remember Glass Doctor, your neighborly company. Visit our showroom at Highway 49 and Jackson Gate Road.
For all your land surveying and civil engineering services, call Toma & Associates at 223-0156. Whether you're building a fence and need to know where the property line is to complete boundary surveys, Toma & Associates can help. Lot surveys, boundary line adjustments, parcel and subdivision maps, FEMA certificates, septic and grading plans, among the many services Toma & Associates provides. Call 223-0156, serving the Mother Lode since 1967.
Remember when going for a walk around the block was easy and pain-free? Future you is ready to feel like that again. Mark Twain Medical Center's orthopedic experts are with you throughout the process, from first consultation to your last physical therapy session, so you can get back to living without joint pain, and future you can can wander far and wide. Visit marktwainmedicalcenter.org/orthopedics. Mark Twain Medical Center. Hello, human kindness. You are listening to Motherlode League high school football action here on KVGC. We're going to go back out to Dan Barnett Field, check in with Frank Halverson and Joey Guidi.
All righty, anthem's done. We are back.
All right, we're back getting ready for kickoff here. Week number 1, the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas Tigers.
In the announcer's booth with us right now, the new Consolidated High School's principal, Mark Brewer.
Oh,
is
wonderful.
in the
Welcome, Mark. Frank
us.
Halverson. Pleasure to meet you.
Right on. So we've got Mark here in the booth. Mark, I'll tell you what, let's see.
The welcome from the community and everybody I meet, just nicest people you could ever want to be with. So I'm really
I've
excited
only been
to
here
be
for 40 years, so I agree with you.
Absolutely. It's been a wonderful welcome, and I'm excited to the work we have ahead of us in the future.
All right, opening kickoff, fielded by number 11. It gets across 20 to 25, knocked down at about the 28-yard line. Pretty good field position for Argonaut starting. That was number 11, Dagan Tillery. And the Mustangs will have it 1st and 10.
Dagan Tillery missed the season last season. He actually missed the whole season after a leg break during the first scrimmage against Truckee High School over the summer. So this will be his first season back since his sophomore year. Good to have him back here for the Mustangs.
All right, so the Mustangs will have it 1st and 10 for the 29-yard line. As we talked about, our new quarterback this year, number 10, that will be Seth Mitchell, is going to open up at the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Goes into motion, low snap. Mitchell's able to corral it. Gets across the 30-yard line for a gain of a couple, but he's stuffed there. It'll be 2nd down and 8. So the bad snap caused Mitchell to just pick it up and get what he could. They're going to call it at the 30-yard line, so a gain of 1 yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Mitchell, a junior, transferred into school this year, did not play in the Mustang program last year. We've had a little issue with the roster for Douglas, so we're going to try to infill the numbers here to give you as much information as we can. Argonaut breaks a huddle, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 single back. Again, motion from the left side. That's the number 16. That's Padilla trying to get around the edge. Loss of about a yard on the play. Nice job by the Douglas defense stretching that out. It'll set up a 3rd down and long for the Mustangs. Douglas looks like they have some pretty good size to him. Number 88 out there. Like I said, we're trying to infill numbers here, so I don't have a name for him yet, but we'll try to get you that shortly. 3rd down and long for the Mustangs. Mitchell again in the shotgun. Again, a low snap. The ball's on the ground. Looks like Douglas recovers. They have, and Douglas will have it with great field position on the fumble. They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Argonaut 24-yard line. So an ominous beginning for the Mustangs here as the Tigers take over at the 29-yard line where they're having 1st and 10. Want to give a shout out to my good friend Fred Oneto. Hope you got the game on tonight, Coach. Fred's been under the weather a little bit, and he's one of the greatest Argonaut Mustang football fans that I know of this county. And Fred, I hope you're listening, and I hope you're doing better. Motion goes to the right side, coming back. Pitch, trying to get around the left end, being pursued. Nice gain across the 20-yard line to the 50 to the 10. Into the end zone. That's a touchdown. Number 22 for the Tigers takes it right around the end and takes it to the end zone. 29-yard touchdown for the Tigers on their first play from scrimmage. I'll get you a name on that in just a minute as the Tigers set up for an extra point. Number 45 on to kick for the Tigers. The kick is up, And it is good with 10-12 left to go here in the first quarter. It's early, but the Tigers take an early lead, 7-0. We'll be right back right after this.
Big Valley Ford Lincoln, your regional commercial van and truck headquarters, is proud to sponsor Motherlode League High School football. The expert sales team will help you get behind the wheel of the car or truck that's right for you. And their service department will keep that vehicle running at peak performance. Visit the team at Big Valley Ford Lincoln, your full-service dealership, on the web at bigvalleyford.com and located in the Stockton Auto Mall off Hammer Lane. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
All right, we're back. That touchdown was by number 22. That was Connor Jackson, 29-yard run. First play from scrimmage for the Tigers after recovering the fumble by the Mustangs, take an early 70-0 lead.
Connor Jackson, a senior this year.
And the Tigers will line up to kick off. Short kick this time. It's going to bounce to the 15-yard line, fielded by number 16, Henry to Padilla, and nothing going on. Good coverage there by the Tigers as Padilla is down at the, let's call it the 19-yard line. So nice coverage there by the Tigers.
And on just a play like that, Frank, you know, the thing to really do as that returner is find a little hole. If you can't find your hole, just put the shoulder down and barrel through for a couple extra yards. And he danced around just a little too much, and I feel like that may be a theme for these backs.
Well, you get that ball, you need to go north to south, and on the kickoff, you need to be decisive. So Argonaut with their second possession, motion comes from the right side. Fake there, Mitchell's going to keep it, and he is hammered. Just no protection there at all. Loss of a couple on the play with the Douglas defense, just good penetration there across the right side. Loss of 2 on the play. It'll set up second down and 12 for the Mustangs.
It came from the outside linebacker position right there. I believe that was number 45 on the play for Douglas. That's a design counter right there, design quarterback counter it looked like.
Number 45, that is Aaron Tokarczyk. So it'll be second down and 11 for the Mustangs.
Even front from Douglas.
Mitchell in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. Mitchell wants to throw over the middle, wide open, complete to number 44 across the 30-yard line for a first down. That's Tokarczyk. So it'll be second down and 11 for the Mustangs.
Even front from Douglas.
Mitchell in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. Off the line and was wide open over the middle. Nice way to slow that pass rush down.
Definitely, most definitely. That's one of those quick pop passes right up to the tight end there. Good pass and catch.
First and 10 for the Mustangs. Mitchell straight ahead handoff that time.
Ooh, rolled him up there. That was Prather.
No gain on the play at all. Prather on the carry. Number 52 for the Tigers. We're trying to get these numbers here to you, folks.
No 52.
I didn't see if there's a 52 out on the field, but none on the roster. So, but a nice play by that young man. Second down and 9 for the Mustangs. Mitchell again in the shotgun. Motion comes from the left side. Low snap again. That's the third one so far. Mitchell picks it up. He gets some positive yards. But that's the third low snap. Or I guess it was picked up by, no, it was Mitchell that kept the ball. But that's the third low snap already that we've seen early in this game. And they obviously need to straighten that out. Sets up a third down and 4 with the ball at the 38-yard line for the Mustangs.
I'm trying to see if that's a number, what the number of that center is for the Mustangs. They've actually, that's been another kind of do-si-do that they've been doing for the Mustangs is their center
It looks
position.
like 52?
60, it might be 62.
I think it's Diego Lopez Cruz.
I believe Diego.
Oh, there was a jump on the right side of the line. Another low snap, but that's going to put the Mustangs back 5 yards on the false start.
That is 62. That's gauge-wise. Diego Lopez is actually injured right now, along with number 70, Jesse Santa Cruz. Number 51, Latuli, I'm remembering Latu's name, Latu Tugafasi is out right now on as a transfer student. Same with number 72, Barrett Halgus.
All right, so 3rd down and 9 for the Mustangs. Mitchell again in the shotgun. Oh, there's motion again by the Mustangs. That's going to send them back. Oh, no, they're going. It looks like they're going to call encroachment against the defense by the line judge over here, but they're marking it back against the Mustangs. The back jumped on that, and that'll set the Mustangs back. That's 2 false starts in a row. They're talking about it, but I think the call is going to stand. The officials are talking about it in the middle of the field, and now they're calling in the line judge who called it an offside by the defense, and see which one how this turns out. But right now they've got it marked against the Mustangs. They are changing the call and calling it against Douglas. So Argonaut's going to get a free 5 yards. That'll move 3rd and 4. Mitchell throws. Quick pass out to the left. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. It was a.
And we're back.
All right, back to punt for the Mustangs. Good snap. Kicks off, end over end kick, fielded about the 32-yard line. Got some room to run around the end. The 40, the 45 to the 50. Turns the corner, gets knocked down after he crosses midfield up to about the Argonaut 39-yard line. Douglas has good field position to start their second possession, leading this one 7-0. They're going to spot it at the 39-yard line of Argonaut. So Douglas has good field position. They've only run one offensive play so far in this game, and that resulted in a touchdown, a 29-yard touchdown by number 22.
Again, that one was number 22, Connor Jackson.
Connor Jackson. Second man through, big hole off the right side, breaks across the 20 to the 15, still on his
Connor
feet,
Jackson
still
again.
running all the way to the end. He goes to the end zone, touchdown. Wow.
Man, that
Intersection of Highway 49 and Ridge Road. Armstrong & Son Construction. State license number 828209. I'm sorry, folks. Apparently we're having some difficulties with the connection between here and Dan Barnett Field. It keeps popping off on that end. So we're going to try to go back and check in with Frank and Joey.
All righty, we are here live from Dan Barnett Field. The Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers. Frank?
Wow, what a start for Douglas.
30156. Whether you're building a fence and need to know where the property line is to complete boundary surveys, Toma and Associates can help. Lot surveys, boundary line adjustments, parcel and subdivision.
And senior discounts available. And you'll never run out of gas again with Camp's Smart System Tank Monitoring Program. They also carry a complete line of RV supplies, gas refrigerators, and barbecues. For more information, visit Camp's Propane and Pioneer or their website at campspropane.com.
And we're back at Dan Barnett Field for the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas Tigers. Joey Geedy and Frank Alverson here live from Dan Barnett Field. Frank?
All right, well, I hope we're connected now.
I think
I'm
we
just going to
are.
continue to call the game, and hopefully you're with me
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
it,
with the internet
but we
here.
are definitely having some internet issues here. I know we had some upgrades to the internet service here, and I thought that was going to prevent some of these issues that we're having, but so far we haven't had a whole lot of luck. So anyway, the Mustangs have it our third possession, 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line, looking to get something started straight ahead, a handoff. And I mean, this Douglas defense right now has just been stopping everything. Prather had absolutely no place to go and was stopped at the line of scrimmage for maybe a gain of 1. Be 2nd down and 9. Just the Douglas line right now is having their way, and no room for this offense to get going here at the beginning of this game for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's really been tough there. What is that? Three snaps that have been low, one of them resulting in a turnover there?
Yeah. Yeah, so, and they've had 1 first down on the pass over the middle, but other than that, they have not had much success here on offense. Motion comes for the left side. They're going to give it to him coming around the right, and they're again stopped immediately. Just a nice play by that defense stretching it out. That is number 7 for Douglas. That's Zachary Jackson. And it'll set up a 3rd down and 8 for the Mustangs. These down and distance situations for the Mustangs have been difficult. It's hard to operate when you're fighting behind the chains all the time to manage first downs, and that's what the Mustangs face themselves with again right now.
Ball was carried there by number 20. That was Ace Tisrand, a sophomore up on varsity this season for the Mustangs.
All right, 3rd and long, trips out to the left. Mitchell in the shotgun. Motion comes from, there's a flag. I think they had 2 men moving at the same time. That's going to go against Argonaut. That's their 3rd false start penalty of this quarter. That's going to back them up 5 yards. And when you're already fighting down and distance, that is not something you want. That'll set up a 3rd down and 13 for the Mustangs. Now Argonaut's going to call a timeout. They need to regroup. We're going to have a word from our sponsors. We're going to be back right after this.
Big Valley Ford Lincoln, your regional commercial van and truck headquarters, is proud to sponsor Motherlode League High School football. The expert sales team will help you get behind the wheel of the car or truck that's right for you. And their service department will keep that vehicle running at peak performance. Visit the team at Big Valley Ford Lincoln, your full-service dealership, on the web at bigvalleyford.com and located in the Stockton Auto Mall off Hammer Lane. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
All right, we're back here at Dan Barnett Field. 4:41 left to go in the 4th quarter. So far, it has been all Douglas Tigers as Argonaut has struggled to get some offensive footing here early in this game as they face a 3rd down and 13. They call a timeout to try to regroup because they are obviously out of sync right now on the offense. So,
Also a quick 1 second here. Let me get this scoring update for you real quick. Looks like Stone Ridge Christian is at 14. The Calaveras Redhawks 0. They are currently live over at Frankmeyer Field with Gil and Greg on KVGC Sports, on KVGC Oldies.
Gil and Greg.
Gil and Greg.
G&G.
G&G.
Who's Gil and Greg?
Gil and Greg are our Calaveras correspondents for the game.
New guys this year over for the Redhawks. Motion. Oh, there's another penalty there. And I think Argonaut jumped again.
A lot of stalls on this.
Another
Argonaut
5-yard
offense.
penalty against the Mustangs. And they are just making it really difficult here as they back up another 5 yards all the way back to inside the 17-yard line. 3rd and what seems like forever right now, the way this Mustang offense is going. So let's see if they've got the 3rd and 17 play. Those are tough in the playbook.
Those definitely are.
Oh, they jumped again, and they didn't call it. The tight end on the right side jumped again, and I don't know. So let's see if they've got the 3rd and 17 play. Those are tough in the playbook.
Those definitely are.
Oh, they jumped again, and they didn't call it. The 4th down and long, and Douglas is going to have fine field position again after this punt. The kick is up, high kick, going to let it bounce at about the 49-yard line and let it roll. Gets the Argonaut roll all the way down to the 36-yard line. So a break for the Mustangs as Douglas takes over at their own 36-yard line. They'll have it 1st and 10. They certainly could have called back another 5 yards there on the Mustangs, but
been a tough go for the Argonaut Mustangs.
Yeah,
here,
so
Frank.
far.
Good little punt right there, though. Sets them up with on the other side of the field. Which
Yeah,
is
and
always
that
positive.
just shows, that's one thing that early in Coach Ricky Davis's career, he never wanted his returners to feel the ball, and he always let the ball bounce. And I never quite understood that as that you need to come up and catch that ball, and that's what Douglas didn't do there. Oh, there was a nice pass right there, wide open to number 1 for Douglas. That was Aaron Moss right in his hands, and he just dropped it. Had a big gain there. Nice pass, just couldn't corral the catch. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers.
Leland just stepped up into the booth with us.
Well, Leland's everywhere. That
Everywhere
guy,
all at once, right?
Everybody knows Leland. The most famous man in Amador County. Looking to throw again. Nice job. Wide open receiver across the 50-yard line.
Wow.
Big receiver number 2. That's Trace Estes, and he was wide open. Big. Well, Leland's everywhere. That
Everywhere
guy,
all at once, right?
Everybody knows Leland. The most famous man in Amador County. Looking to throw again. Nice job. Wide open receiver across the 50-yard line.
Wow. Finding that open, it looked like he was playing that slot receiver on the right side, just going right over the middle of the field and finding an open zone.
That's a big target. Estes is lined up on the slot on the right-hand side. Pitch trying to get around the right side. That's number 22. He gets around the right. Another big gain, another 1st down. That's number 22 again, Connor Jackson. And Argonaut so far has no response to this Tiger offense as they are chewing up yards here in the 1st quarter with 3:26 left.
Sorry, Frank, I'm over here trying to write that roster.
Joey, I appreciate it. We're trying to get some numbers down for the roster from Douglas. We didn't have one.
So if I'm silent, folks, I'm just writing.
Straight ahead handoff again to Jackson. Big hole. He's still on his feet, fighting his way, breaking tackles. He's into the end zone. Are you kidding me? 33-yard touchdown. Connor Jackson. We're trying to get some numbers down for the roster from Douglas. We didn't have one.
So if I'm silent, folks, I'm just writing.
Straight ahead handoff again to Jackson. Big hole. He's still on his feet, fighting his way, breaking tackles. He's into the end zone. Are you kidding me?
Kind of got a little shimmy and then ran off the side of him, and then as soon as he got right towards the end zone, just let him walk right in.
Connor Jackson just busting tackles. Oh, a high pooch kick, but it gets just over the crossbar. Look at the scoreboard. 3:08 remaining in the 1st quarter. The Douglas Tigers are having their way with the Mustangs so far, 21-0. We'll be right back. More Mother Lode League action right after this.
Jackson Tire, located on Highway 49 in Jackson and Highway 88 in Pine Grove, is the place to go for your vehicle. Whether you need new tires or any auto service, Jackson Tire is a dealer you need to know. Visit them at jacksontire.net. That's Jackson Tire. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
Well, welcome to game number 1. Brand new coach John Hickman right now has to be scratching his head a little bit the way this one has started, as the Mustangs have just been on their heels, not been able to do anything on offense or find an answer for Connor Jackson or the big receiver Trace Estes right now, as Douglas takes a commanding 21-0 lead here with 3:08 left in the first quarter. So Argonaut is going to have their fourth possession of the quarter. They've only been able to manage one first down so far. Low line drive kick fielded at the 12-yard line across the 20 to the 25 hit and brought down short at about the 29. That was number 22, Chancellor Hendricks, I believe, for the Mustangs. So 1st and 10 for Argonaut. They're going to mark it right at the 30-yard line. Fourth possession of the game for the Mustangs. As I said, they only had one first down so far. False starts, low snaps have really been the nemesis for the Mustangs so far here in the first quarter. Let's see if they can get that straightened out. Mitchell in the shotgun. Motion comes from the left side. Straight ahead handoff, second man through. Just great penetration by the Douglas defense. That's number 99, Kyle Kuntz. And if you don't get a little better blocking from your line on that, there's just no way your backs have anywhere to run. Great penetration by Kuntz that time.
And also looking across the board there over at that Douglas front line, there's some pretty stout boys. I mean,
yeah, they're good. This is a good sized team.
Kuntz is pretty good size.
And they're young. As I said, they had a tough year last year. Their only win was against Argonaut in the first game of the year. So they're looking to rebuild this program. Pressure comes to the right side. Mitchell's looking. He's still looking. Now he's in trouble. He's hit and he's sacked. Brought down at the 25-yard line. Loss on the play. And just under pressure the whole time. Great pursuit by the Tigers. Third down and long for the Mustangs. And you put yourself in those positions, each possession down in distance, that's going to be a tough ask all night long.
Most definitely.
I'm going to interrupt here for a second. Apparently, they're not getting our scoring updates. Oak Ridge over Sonora in the first quarter, 7-0. And over at Calaveras, Stone Ridge Christian up on Calaveras, the Redhawks, 14-0, end of the first quarter.
Mitchell's in trouble again, brought down for a sack. That was number 5, Zachary Westbrook, and Argonaut is just not having any success at anything. I believe that's Oakdale against Sonora, the 7-0 score. So fourth down for the Mustangs. This is their fourth possession. The first possession resulted in a fumble. This is their third punt in a row.
Handling the quarterback duties and the punting duties is Seth Mitchell.
Mitchell gets it off a low end-over-end kick, goes out of bounds. Douglas is going to have good field position as I believe it went out of bounds short of the 50-yard line. I don't have any idea why they're spotting that at the 45. That ball was out of bounds 5 yards in front of that. And I think the Douglas coach is asking the same thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's thinking, oh, it went out in the air over here. But, nah, it bounced down before it went out of bounds from my eyes. I mean,
well, that's the way I see it, too. But, hey, they're a lot closer to it than me, so.
I guess so.
I guess. Well, hey, it's their first game, too, right?
Right, exactly.
So Douglas takes over at their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10.
Looks like the quarterback for Douglas is number 9.
I formation. Straight ahead handoff to the up back. That was number 10, I believe. That is Andrew Strand. 77 on the tackle for the Mustangs. That is Charlie Neely. Gain of about a couple on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. I formation again for the Tigers. Rolls through as he fakes, throws to the big receiver, complete to number 2 again. That is Trace Estes. Gain of about a couple on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 8. I formation again for the Tigers. Rolls through as he fakes, throws to the big receiver, complete to number 2 again. That big receiver, Estes. And there's a timeout on the field, or the end of the first quarter. So it's been all Douglas Tigers. The end of 1. The Tigers 21, the Mustangs 0. We'll be back, second quarter action, right after this.
The family of Armstrong & Son Construction and Armstrong Self-Storage are proud to sponsor Motherlode League football. Remember, when you need excavating, grading, septic system repairs, and other site work, call Armstrong & Son Construction. Or if you need a storage unit, stop by Armstrong Self-Storage for safe and secure storage. Conveniently located near the intersection of Highway 49 and Ridge Road. Armstrong & Son Construction, state license number 828209. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
All right, we're back as we flip the field as the first quarter ends. Douglas will have it 1st and 10 from the Argonaut 45-yard line. And so far, they've just been able to just move up and down the field with not much resistance from the Mustang defense at all.
Well, you know, Douglas, I don't know if you're seeing this, Frank, but Douglas looks pretty calm and collected out there. They seem like they are very much in control. They've got them right about where they want them, and they look like they're marching the ball down the field at a very comfortable rate.
And they're a young team, and that's interesting to see that, especially coming off the history. This football program has not had a lot of success over a number of years. Nice throw again. Estes brings it down. That big target. That was a beautiful throw by number 9, Ovard. And they're a young team, and that's interesting to see that, especially coming off the history. This football program has not had a lot of success over a number of years. Nice throw again. Estes brings it down.
And the up man was a senior, but their wide-out receiver and their quarterback are both juniors.
Jackson's going to get it up the middle, running hard, gets across the 35-yard line. That's going to be good for another Tiger first down. That'll move the chains. A fresh set of downs for Douglas as they continue to just have their way.
And that was just about the only way that he was going to be able to tackle him. Number 16, Henry Padilla on the tackle there. Just went low and upended number 22, Jackson on that play.
Shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He wants to throw. Wide open receiver. What a great catch.
Wow.
Right there. Was a little bit behind him.
That was Kuntz.
That was number
99. That was Kuntz.
Yeah, Kyle Kuntz.
He got up there, Frank.
Great reception. That pass was
there.
back behind over his back shoulder. He had to spin around, go up in the air, and pulled that in. Very impressive. Another first down for the Tigers as they're right down inside the red zone again. Pitch to Jackson around the right side. Good penetration that time. Oh, he slid down, but got away. It was a nice job by the Mustangs that time. I believe that was Tillery.
That was 62 on the initial tackle for that. That was Gage Wise making his way out there from the defensive line.
After the game that I saw last year up at Douglas, which was probably one of the worst games I've maybe called in the 30-plus years I've been doing this, because there were 2 not very good football teams on the field. I am surprised at what I'm seeing tonight from the Douglas Tigers, because they have been impressive.
Right. A good backside penetration there from the DN. That was number 44, Jake Todden for the Mustangs. Finally was able to shoot across and stop Jackson in the backfield.
So the first 4th down for Douglas tonight.
Man, Kuntz
they're
is
at
big, dude.
just inside their 20-yard line, and they're going to go for it.
Look at those.
Estes wide out to the left, and he's looking. Little penetration. He's got a wide open receiver. Gets across the 10-yard line. That's going to be a first down. He'll set up a first down and goal for Douglas. That was Kuntz.
That's a pretty imposing split receiving core there with number 2 Trace Estes and number 99 Kyle Kuntz there. Those guys look like they're well over the 6-foot mark.
So 4th down and 10, and just no problem. They convert it. 1st and goal for Douglas right now. I'm betting Connor Jackson is getting the football. They're going to pitch it to him going around left side.
Oh.
Nice penetration by the Mustangs, and then helped out. First man in. He's on the ground right now, slow to get up, but Todden was the first man in that slowed him down. Then he had a lot of help from his buddies that stopped Jackson for the first time tonight in that situation on a 1st and goal.
Totten playing that down D-end. Looks like they've been doing both a standing end and a 3-point stance for their D-ends. Looks like he's going to be up for this next play.
Looking to throw, throwing out to the corner. Wow, that was the first ball that was just way off target that we've seen so far tonight from Estes. From Ovard.
He put that one well out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
Frank.
nobody was getting that one.
Nope. Good coverage on that by the corner, number 9, Jonathan Martinez as well.
So 3rd down and goal.
They're doing a good job of spreading the field out, too. They're really splitting up their offensive formations.
Fake to Jackson, rolling to his right, looking to the right corner of the end zone. Oh, what a great job. The big man, number 2, jumps up and just takes it away from the defender. That's
the field out, too. They're really splitting up their offensive formations.
Fake to Jackson, rolling to his right, looking to the right corner of the end zone. Oh, what a great job. The big man, number 2, jumps up and just takes it away.
Henry Padilla was actually, number 16, Henry Padilla playing that strong safety, was in good position for it, goes up for the high point catch, but it's just totally stolen out of his hands by number 2, Estes there.
Yeah, Estes goes up. Beautiful throw, beautiful catch. No answer so far for this, what we've seen, a very potent offense for the Douglas Tigers.
Back to kicks, number 45, the big middle linebacker, Aaron.
Whoop, another pop-up, and this one's going to go wide left, and that'll be no good. 8:18 left to go in the half. It's been all Tigers so far, 27. Argonaut Mustangs, nothing. We'll be back after this.
Hey, let's play some football. Mark Borchin here with Glass Doctor. We are so excited that you're doing what you love. When you need auto glass, windshields, and calibration, call Glass Doctor. Ask about our windshield protection plan. And for shower enclosures, foggy, broken windows in your home or business, please remember Glass Doctor, your neighborly company. Visit our showroom at Highway 49 and Jackson Gate Road.
You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
Coach.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as a coach, what do you tell your team right now?
You know,
this has been a boat race.
It's the same thing that I always say. You know, there's 2 halves of football. They can score this. We've got to be able to have a chance to score it on our own. You know, stay positive. Don't get down on each other. That's the really, really big key to it. Is you got to stay a team. You got to stay supporting your boys. But it's definitely a tough conversation that they're going to have at the half.
Short kick, nice return up to about the 38-yard line for the Mustangs, where they'll take over. 1st and 10, the first possession of the second half, or the second quarter, excuse me. They have only managed 1 first down in this game.
Right.
That was on their second possession on the little pop pass over the middle to the tight end. And they are desperately in need of not only getting some first downs that keeps your defense off the field, because his defense has to be tired at this point.
Right.
They've been on the field a lot. So the offense can help that out just by getting a couple first downs and eating up some clock.
And, you know, they've got a lot of two-way players that are playing for the Mustangs right now, especially with those injuries that they've had to the backfield and to the line. A lot of guys playing 2 different positions right now. Oh,
Mitchell's going to keep it rolling to his left. He's in trouble, tucks it in. He's knocked down at about the 35-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 3.
Looks like they've got a lot of two-way players that are playing for the Mustangs right now, especially with those injuries that they've had to the backfield and to the line. A lot of guys playing two different positions right now. Oh,
Mitchell's going to keep it rolling to his left. He's in trouble, tucks it in. He's knocked down at about the 35-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 3. Give it to your playmaker and give him an opportunity to make a defender miss.
And again, this goes to that quarterback conversation we had. New quarterback, new system.
Straight ahead handoff to number 2. A couple yards on the play. That was to Prather, but not a lot going there. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll set down a 3rd down and 10.
You know, they get that initial punch through the line, but there's just so much fill. They are filling really well from that Douglas defensive front.
Well, you look at your linebackers, number 42 and number 45. That's Smalley and Tokarczyk, and they are doing a nice job. The defensive line is holding their spot and letting those linebackers fill those holes, and they've done a nice job so far, not allowing those running lanes for the Mustangs. 3rd down and 10 for Argonaut.
Ooh, blitz.
Oh, that looked like almost a broken play, and Mitchell just throws it up for grabs. That ball's intercepted at the 40-yard line by number 13. That's Brenton Weston. 3rd down and 10 for Argonaut.
Blitz.
Oh, that looked like almost a broken play, and Mitchell just throws it up for grabs. That ball's intercepted at the 40-yard line by number 13.
On that one, might be looking for, throw it out of bounds, maybe looking for your dump-off pass on there. I know you're feeling the pressure, but throwing the ball up in the middle of the air for the center fielder to catch it, it's going to be a pretty tough one to complete anyways.
So Douglas is going to take over at their own 40-yard line after the interception, leading this one 27-0. 6:14 left to go here in the second quarter. Little swing pass out to Connor Jackson. Nice tackle by Mustang number 10. That Seth Mitchell that comes up and puts Jackson on the ground. Loss of a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Looks like a loss of 2 on that play. Yeah, Mitchell came up and filled that. Looks like he wanted a little vengeance for that interception there.
So 2nd down and 12, I formation, or second man through. Connor Jackson again gets across the 40-yard line, brought down by number 20 along with number 71. That's Ace Tizarand and Zach Epperson, I believe. Zadok Epperson, I should say. 3rd down and 7 for the Tigers.
And again, Tizarand, a sophomore here on varsity.
3 receivers to the right. And those are 3 big receivers. There's a lot of height there. Douglas is going to call a timeout. 5:13 left in the second quarter. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be back. More second quarter action right after this.
For all your land surveying and civil engineering services, call Toma & Associates at 223-0156. Whether you're building a fence and need to know where the property line is to complete boundary surveys, Toma & Associates can help. Lot surveys, boundary line adjustments, parcel and subdivision maps, FEMA certificates, septic and grading plans, among the many services Toma & Associates provides. Call 223-0156, serving the Mother Lode since 1967.
You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
All right, we're back. 5:13 left to go here in the second quarter, and the Douglas Tigers have had their way so far on this opening night here at Dan Barnett Field, leading this one 27-0.
Defensive coordinator Andrew Stevens for the Mustangs down there giving his defense a talk.
3rd down and 7 for Douglas. 3 receivers to the right. He wants to throw right out there like almost a little bubble screen to Estes. He gets across the 50, spins, breaks a tackle. That's a 1st down as he struggles and continues forward momentum up to for Douglas. 3 receivers to the right. He wants to throw right out there like almost a little bubble screen to Estes. He gets across the 50, spins, breaks a tackle. That's a first down as he struggles and continues. Green, wide receiver bubble screen there. And another first down for Douglas. Fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Straight ahead handoff. Connor Jackson hitting the backfield. Nice job by Argonaut defense. That's the first real stand they've made in this game as Jackson gets stopped for a loss of, well, they're going to mark it for a loss of 4. Number 44, Jake Todden, comes off the bottom of the pile for the Mustangs there.
And on that trip set there where they had that bubble screen, what happens is the 2 receivers on the inside go and find the corner and the strong safety, and they have another slip from the outside, and that's that receiver. It was Estes. Second
down and 13. Overard wants to throw, and he had Kuntz wide open. He just overthrew him a little bit. It looked like Kuntz stopped on that route a little bit, like he wanted to curl instead of continue to out, and Overard thought he was going to continue out, so it was an incomplete pass. That'll set up a third down and long for the Tigers.
And Ovar did have number 44, Jake Todden, breathing down his neck on that one. The design of that play is they have 2 outside receivers finding outside leverage to go up, bring the corners back, and they have 2 inside receivers that are doing 5 yards and out to find chair route underneath.
So third down and long for the Tigers. Under center this time. First man through. That's Connor Jackson. He fights forward to about the 45-yard line. Going to be well short of the first down. It's going to set up a 4th down and 10 for Douglas. And Douglas, for the first time tonight, is going to punt. And if you're the Argonaut Mustangs defense right now, this is the momentum you want to build on. It's the first time they've been able to stop this offense tonight. Okay, we've got our feet underneath them. We've kind of figured out what they're doing a little bit, and now we need to build on that.
Right, and it's going to be a big adjustment at the half. They're going to get back and see some film and talk about it a little bit and just readjust to what Douglas has been bringing to him.
So Douglas back to punt for the first time tonight. Good snap. Kick is off. Short kick, almost shanked over to the left side. It bounces and goes out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Now they're moving it forward, about the 23-yard line. So Argonaut's going to have it 1st and 10. But the first time that Douglas has been forced to punt tonight. So, hey, celebrate small victories, right? Argonaut has it 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line with 3:20 left to go in the first half. So Seth Mitchell into the huddle, calling the signals as Argonaut breaks the huddle, trying to get something going here on offense. Mitchell in the shotgun. He wants to throw. He's looking. Now he's under pressure. He rolls to his right, breaks a tackle, gets forward to about the 30-yard line. Ball's on the ground, but the play was already called dead.
Oh, a flag after the play. Another flag.
There goes another one up in the air.
Oh, looks like Mitchell's hurting right now.
So Mitchell got across the 30-yard line up to about the 32. As the officials are conversing, it's a personal foul, a blow to the head.
Ooh.
And that'll be a 15-yard penalty. That'll be marked off against the Tigers. That'll take the ball up to the 43-yard line of Argonaut, where the Mustangs will have it 1st and 10.
That's tough to see. That's really tough to see when your quarterback takes a blow to the head like that.
Does it show how big Kuntz is? That's a big boy.
Let me see on the yeah, it doesn't say anything right here on Kuntz for their roster. Again,
and
their roster
and look at their linebacker, number 42.
Look at 45. Look at 45. He's
stout. He's wide, but 42 is, I think, 6 inches taller than him.
Yeah.
They've got this is a pretty good-sized team. All right, Mitchell in the shotgun. Motion comes from the right side. Going to give it to him, trying to get around the corner.
Oh, ball's out.
There's a fumble on the ground.
Ooh,
they're going to say he was down. The officials, the white hat is going to call it down. That was number 6, taller than him.
Yeah.
They've got this is a pretty good-sized team. All right, Mitchell in the shotgun. Motion comes from the right side. Going to give it to him, trying to get around the corner.
Oh, ball's out.
There's a fumble on the ground.
Ooh,
they're going to say
down.
he was down. The officials, the white hat is going to maintain possession. That block in the back could have been called against Argonaut very easily.
And a quick Mountain Merchants scoring update. At halftime, Stone Ridge Christian is sitting at 22, and the Calaveras Redhawks at 7.
Boy, I really thought that Calaveras might have an opportunity to go win tonight against Stone Ridge Christian, but boy, that program, I don't know, the last few years, I don't even know what's happened over there. But man, they have had their struggles.
Oh, Todden.
Pass right over the middle. What a nice strike. Wide open to number 44, Jake Todd. They thought that Calaveras might have an opportunity to go win tonight against Stone Ridge Christian, but boy, that program, I don't know, the last few years, I don't even know what's happened over there. But man, they have had their struggles.
Oh, Todden.
Pass right over the middle. What a nice strike.
Easy reading the guard, sitting back, just letting it go open right over the middle of the field from that tight end.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 40-yard line. Looking again to throw. Now he's in trouble. He's hit. Breaks a tackle.
His helmet.
Gets across, and he's hit hard as the ball gets just about to the 45-yard line. Nice job right there, really, considering the pressure he was under by Mitchell.
Mitchell's just getting beat up on these plays too. Looks like number 81, Brady Blake, is going to be coming in and taking the quarterback duties for the Mustangs.
Their Mustangs are going to call a timeout. 46 seconds left in the half. We're going to keep it right here. Looks like they're just going to give Mitchell a little break here as they try to get through the rest of this half, trailing 27-0.
I believe the referees actually will tell him, because he did lose his helmet during that play slightly. I believe they're going to tell him to come off.
So if that's the case, he had to come off.
He has to come off for at least one play.
In high school football, it didn't look like it came all the way off to me. Obviously, the chin strap came off because it was loose. I don't know where the official line on that is.
Sure.
If it has to come all the way off or
just has to be disturbed.
Well, it was disturbed.
Yes, yes it was. Yes, it was. So far, been a pretty tough go for the Mustangs, Frank. I mean, they're finally starting to march it down. They're on Douglas's side of the field right now, but it's been kind of one busted play after another. Good strike to Todden on that to march it down further, but it's been pretty much all on the legs of Mitchell so far.
Well, they really have not been able to generate much on offense at all. You got to remember, this drive was helped considerably by the 15-yard penalty, then the one good strike to Todden. But other than that, it's been they've been running for their lives out there.
Right.
I mean, just trying to, make it work on the fly because they've been under pressure.
Oh, Brady.
Well, Argonaut thought it was a false start. The officials didn't call it. Argonaut's had trouble with this all night, and I'm not sure what. Now it looks like they are. Now they finally drop a flag. There wasn't a flag.
Oh, they're calling it offside. Offside. All right. I'll take it.
I want to look back at this replay. That takes the ball up to the 30-yard line. Argonaut's had trouble with this all night, and
just after for it. But Brady Blake was standing there just
he thought
he
was
thought
waiting
it was
for the
down
flag
too. He had 42 bearing down on him. Are they going to call? Oh, they're going to call first down on this. Looks like they did have enough yardage for that first down.
All right, so it's up to the 30-yard line now. 1st and 10. 44 seconds left. I don't even know why 2 seconds ran off if it was a timeout, but the clock should have been adjusted. But, hey, like I said, the southpaw.
He's a lefty.
He's looking deep. He throws. Just overthrown to Todden. He had him at about the 11-yard line. It was a little bit behind his back shoulder there. Todden tried to make the adjustment and go up to make the catch, but just left. I don't even know why 2 seconds ran off if it was a timeout, but the clock should have been adjusted. But, hey, like I said, the southpaw.
He's a lefty.
He's looking deep. He throws. Just overthrown to Todden. He had him at about the 11-yard line. It was a little bit behind. All right, 2nd down and 10 for Argonaut, 35 seconds left to go in the first half, looking to get on the scoreboard.
Looks like Mitchell's getting checked out right now by Chief Ken Mackey.
Trailing this one 27-0. So Blake in the shotgun. He's looking to throw. Now he's in trouble, and he's buried. Kuntz, they're trying to strip the ball up as they were holding him up, but Kuntz came around that right side. That's going to bring him back to the 35-yard line. The clock is ticking. 21 seconds left. I'm surprised Argonaut doesn't take a timeout. They're going to spot it at the 33. The clock is still running. I'd have taken a timeout there. What do you have to lose? Blake takes the snap. He's in trouble. No, he gets hammered. Dropped hard.
Oh,
now there's a late flag. That's going to be against Douglas.
For sure.
On number 72. There's 2 seconds left on the clock. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty. I'd have taken a timeout there. What do you have to lose? Blake takes the snap. He's in trouble. No, he gets hammered. Dropped hard.
Oh,
now there's a late flag.
Just no room for that in the game.
Well, it's certainly unnecessary. The whistle had been blown long before that happened. The play was over. And they're going to be penalized for it. They're going to give Argonaut one more shot here at the score. There's 2 seconds left. So, obviously go to the end zone.
Right.
Ball's sitting at the 26-yard line.
Sling that thing, lefty. Looks like Prather's out of the backfield as well. Looks like it's number 9, Jonathan Martinez behind Blake.
So 3 receivers left. Douglas is going to call a timeout with 2 seconds left here, just to make sure that they're protecting the goal line, everything in front of you. So we'll keep it right here with 2 seconds left. But Argonaut's going to have one shot here at the end zone. Remember, Douglas won the toss and deferred. They kicked off, so they will be receiving the second half kickoff.
Right.
And so this is a perfect situation for Douglas. That's exactly what, obviously, when you defer, you hope for the double dip. The last possession of the first half, the first possession of the second half. That's not the case here tonight, but obviously leading 27-0 and dominating the way they have in this first half. Hard to complain about what's happened so far.
Pretty much. Other than that little penalty at the end right there, I mean, it has been a clean first half as well. But it looks like they're going to be trotting back out onto the field right now. 2 seconds left here at Dan Barnett Field. The first half of the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers out of Minden, Nevada.
We want to thank our sponsors tonight, longtime sponsors Jackson Tire, I believe Armstrong & Son Construction, Big Valley Ford, Glass Doctor, Toman Associates. Blake's going to throw deep up in the air, batted down, incomplete as the clock runs down to 0. That'll do it. First half of this first game of 2023 Argonaut High School football. Look at the scoreboard. It's the Douglas Tigers 27, Argonaut Mustangs nothing. We'll be back with our halftime report right after this.
Big Valley Ford Lincoln, your regional commercial van and truck headquarters, is proud to sponsor Motherlode League High School football. The expert sales team will help you get behind the wheel of the car or truck that's right for you. And their service department will keep that vehicle running at peak performance. Visit the team at Big Valley Ford Lincoln, your full-service dealership, on the web at bigvalleyford.com and located in the Stockton Auto Mall off Hammer Lane.
Football fans, stay in touch with Conifer Communications high-speed internet wherever you are. Stream the game live, connect with fans during and after the game, Facebook Live the winning play, or upload those Instagram photos. Conifer Communications may be local, but offers big-time internet service with fast speed, no data limits, plus VoIP phone service. Connect with Conifer today, 866-378-8393, or stop by their office in San Andreas on Highway 49.
You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
And we're back from Dan Barnett Field in Jackson, California. The Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers out of Minden, Nevada. Frank Halverson, Joey Guidi here, our Conifer Communication halftime report. Frank?
Well, you know, there's not a lot of things that Argonaut has to build on here in this first half, as they pretty much got it handed to them by the Douglas Tigers. They had 4 possessions in the first quarter that resulted in a fumble, a punt, and a punt. Douglas scored on their first offensive play, a 29-yard run by Connor Jackson. After the Argonaut punt and a good return, they scored on the next offensive play, which was a 39-yard run by Connor Jackson. 2 offensive plays, 2 touchdowns. Argonaut was forced to punt again. Another touchdown, a 22-yarder by Connor Jackson. Connor Jackson had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and like 80 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good quarter.
Well, and
I don't care what we're measuring up against.
They just couldn't stop him, Frank.
Then the first quarter ended, and Douglas scored again at the beginning of the second quarter on a 10-yard touchdown pass from Ovard to Estes, and that was an interception by Argonaut. The score at the end of the half is 27-0, and Argonaut really didn't have anything to show for it on either side of the football. The last possession for the Argonaut defense, which forced Douglas to punt, is something that the coaching staff probably has to be talking about right now, what they did different and how they can sustain that, because that's the one positive they have to build on.
Well, I think a big thing has been stop Connor Jackson. Get low, wrap up, don't let him get any yards. They've been having a good success with Todden on that outside penetration, stopping Jackson in the backfield, but they've had almost absolutely no answer for Estes or for Kuntz or even number 10. That was
Trace
for
Estes and 99 Kuntz. They've got some big receivers, and Ovard shows the ability to throw the football. And
definitely.
So with Connor Jackson, the way he was running early in the first quarter, it makes your defense really focus on that, and that just makes it wide open for those big targets on the outside. Right. And Douglas just had their way.
Right, exactly. Well, and that's what seemingly has been so tough for the Mustangs, is adjusting and adapting to that style of play. And, you know, especially too, that's been hasn't been any major big long passes. It's been little dinks and dunks that they just have so much power, so much strength to just take it the distance.
But they've converted on down and distance. The few times they've come up against 3rd and long or even 4th down when they had it in the red zone, they're able to convert those, and those are difficult down and distance to convert. And they seem very calm and able to do that. And you know, the interesting thing about it, after watching this team last year, which was probably as bad a game as I've ever called, the Argonaut-Douglas game last year, those were 2 not very good football teams out there. I am very, very surprised at the Douglas team I've seen tonight.
Most
because
definitely.
It is night and day difference.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, their key playmakers, they are a decently young team, but their key playmakers have been those seniors, so they learned that last season, you know, tired of not being good, tired of not having it in the game, and they're finally really getting their act together. But, man, the size difference. Douglas is big.
Yeah.
They are big. I mean, they've got multiple players out there that are pushing over the 6 foot, maybe even over the 200-pound mark.
I totally
very, very big boys out there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And, you know, you look at Douglas that comes off of the only win they had last year was their first win of the year, not winning a game in league. They've got to feel real good about where they're heading this year and the change in this program, because they have not had a lot of success over the last several years with Douglas football. So they've got to feel pretty good about themselves. We're going to see what kind of adjustments the Mustangs can make. John Hickman, first-year head coach. Obviously, this isn't the start he wanted, but it's all about getting better each play, getting better each week.
Right.
And so it's a building process as you go into league, and we'll see what they can do the second half.
Most definitely. And he's, you know, Hickman, working on his staff and also knowing him as a player and a coach in the Motherlode League, he's a very cerebral coach. He really has a good mind for the game. And I think what he's going to be talking about with these boys at the half is just, hey, we got to tighten up. We got to stay together, stick to our fundamentals. You know, we got to break down for our tackles. We got to make sure when we're running the ball, we're running low, we're running fast. We've got to stay on our blocks. Those outside blocks have been missed almost the entire game. The front line has been near non-existent, and Argonaut has always prided itself in being a power running team.
Right.
Always a power running team, and it's a bit of a shift. Bit of a shift now into we've got a smaller line, we've got small and quick backs. Let's try to make this a little bit more of a fly sweep team, but so far it just hasn't played out for him yet.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it's going to work. Well, that'll do it. This is our Conifer Communications halftime report. We're going to be back with 7-half action right after this.
Football fans, stay in touch with Conifer Communications high-speed internet wherever you are. Stream the game live, connect with fans during and after the game, Facebook Live the winning play, or upload those Instagram photos. Conifer Communications may be local, but offers big-time internet service with fast speed, no data limits, plus VoIP phone service. Connect with Conifer today, 866-378-8393, or stop by their office in San Andreas on Highway 49.
A longtime supporter of youth activities in Amador County, the folks at Camps Propane hope you enjoyed tonight's high school football action on hometown radio. Visit Camps Showroom on Highway 88 in Pioneer. Ask about the EC Saver program and senior discounts available. And you'll never run out of gas again with Camps' Smart System Tank Monitoring program. They also carry a complete line of RV supplies, gas refrigerators, and barbecues. For more information, visit Camps Propane in Pioneer or their website at campspropane.com. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and kvgcradio.com.
Football fans, stay in touch with Conifer Communications high-speed internet wherever you are. Stream the game live, connect with fans during and after the game, Facebook Live the winning play, or upload those Instagram photos. Conifer Communications may be local, but offers big-time internet service with fast speed, no data limits, plus VoIP phone service. Connect with Conifer today, 866-378-8393, or stop by their office in San Andreas on Highway 49.
You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and kvgcradio.com.
And we're back here live at Dan Barnett Field in Jackson, California for the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers out of Minden, Nevada. Halftime right now. Looks like the scoreboard shows Douglas 27, the Argonaut Mustangs 0. And before we get into it, Frank, let me do a quick Mountain Merchant scoring update around the Motherlode League. Also at half, 22 for Stone Ridge Christian, 7 for the Calaveras Redhawks. Again, they are still at halftime. And in the second quarter, the Sonora Wildcats 12, Oakdale Mustangs 19. And also in the second quarter, the Somerville Bears 14, and the Gustine Reds 0.
Wow. Wow, that's pretty good for Somerville. You know, Somerville had a good run last year, finished second in the league to Sonora, but they lost a lot of seniors.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of talent last year. So we're wondering how Somerville was going to bounce back. Gustine usually has a pretty stout program, so for them to be leading that in the first half, good for Somerville. You know, that Sonora-Oakdale game, Oakdale is the perennial powerhouse in the Mother Oak League, and pretty much had been their league until Central Catholic came into that league a few years ago, and they usually fight it out each year for the top spot in the Valley Oak League. So for Sonora to be playing tough with Oakdale just shows how Sonora is able to just reload and continue to be successful every single year. Again, since they came into the Mother Lode League in 2014, have only lost one league game.
Right.
This will be their last year in the Mother Lode League as they transition out, as will as Argonaut and Amador as they leave the Mother Lode League also after this year. So not a lot of surprise there for Sonora. A little bit of Somerville. We haven't got a scoring update or a report on the Amador game, I guess.
Right.
That I've heard.
We do have a new scoring update for the Somerville-Gustine game, though. Again, in the second quarter, Somerville just scored 20-6. Somerville over Gustine right now.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what's happening in that Amador game. If anybody out there has any connections there and are able to give us a report on that. Again, Amador is playing at Forest Hill. Amador is on the road for the first 3 weeks for sure, maybe 4 weeks of this season. So I think we'll see them in the fourth week. I think they're home in week number 4, and that'll be our game of the week over there. So love to hear a score for that. If anybody's out there that has any update on that, if you could call into the station, we would appreciate that. So we got a minute 20 left to go here before the start of the second half. Both teams are out on the field waiting to get started. Douglas won the toss to begin the game. They deferred and kicked off to Argonaut, so they will be receiving the kickoff to start the second half, leading this one 27-0. Let's go back to the studio, get a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
Football fans, stay in touch with Conifer Communications high-speed internet wherever you are. Stream the game live, connect with fans during and after the game, Facebook Live the winning play, or upload those Instagram photos. Conifer Communications may be local, but offers big-time internet service with fast speed, no data limits, plus VoIP phone service. Connect with Conifer today, 866-378-8393, or stop by their office in San Andreas on Highway 49.
Remember when going for a walk around the block was easy and pain-free? Future you is ready to feel like that again. Mark Twain Medical Center's orthopedic experts are with you throughout the process, from first consultation to your last physical therapy session, so you can get back to living without joint pain, and future you can wander far and wide. Visit marktwainmedicalcenter.org/orthopedics. Mark Twain Medical Center. Hello, human kindness. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
And we are back getting set for kickoff for the second half of the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers, live here from Dan Barnett Field at Argonaut High School in Jackson, California. Joey Geedy and Frank Halverson here, and also our new engineer, Carter Brashear.
Yes,
Carter.
Mr. Brashear.
Carter. Thank you, Carter. Carter's
Well, I
here.
was mistaken. I thought Douglas was going to be receiving in the second half, but they are not. They will be kicking off. Argonaut will be receiving. It looks like Seth Mitchell has been cleared, and he's back in the game. I know he was getting looked at by Chief Mackey. So the kickoff is fielded at about the 20-yard line, breaks a tackle across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line.
That was number 16, Henry.
Has been cleared, and he's back in the game. I know he was getting looked at by Chief Mackey. So the kickoff is fielded at about the 20-yard line, breaks a tackle across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line. So Mitchell is not in a quarterback. He is on the sideline. Brady Blake, the southpaw, is in as the quarterback here. He is a senior.
It's like there's a little confusion out there right now.
Okay, Estes is feeling it, doing a little dance out on the right-hand side there for Douglas. Number 22 coming into the game, that's Chancellor Hendricks for the Mustangs, so trying to get their personnel right, but Blake is in at quarterback. Mitchell is on the sideline. Blake's going to start from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Motion comes to the right side. Blake's going to give a straight-ahead handoff. Nice gain across the 35-yard line by Martinez.
Martinez is a speedster, too. Having him in the backfield as that tailback is interesting. He's got really, really good.
Sideline. Blake's going to start from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Motion comes to the right side. Blake's going to give a straight-ahead handoff. Nice gain across the 35-yard line by Martinez.
Martinez looks like that the tight end duties have been switched over to number 22, Chancellor Hendricks.
I didn't see Todden get hurt. That's a little surprising.
I don't see Todden on the side right now, actually.
Blake operating the shotgun. 2 receiver to the left. Motion comes to the right.
Oh, ball's on the ground.
Oh, I'm not sure what that play was. It's still loose. And it looks like Douglas is signaling that they've got the football, and they do. So it's a fumble. Number 20, Ace Tizarand, came into motion there. I don't think it was a direct snap to him, but the snap actually hit him, and that's how the ball got on the ground. So it was a fumble. It bounced around back into Argonaut territory, and Douglas was able to recover, and they've got it now 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line, and, man, they are in business. After the fumble, that's the second fumble of the game for Argonaut, recovered by Douglas. They fumbled on their first possession that Douglas was able to turn into points. Pass out to the right side, complete to Estes. No gain on the play. Nice tackle by Tillery there, or a short gain on the play, I should see. Is that? No, that's the same quarter. For Argonaut, recovered by Douglas. They fumbled on their first possession that Douglas was able to turn into points. Pass out to the right side, complete to Estes. For a short gain on the play, it'll be 2nd down. Ooh, nice catch there around the left side.
Man, how many guys does it take?
Wow. That's Kuntz. That's a big man right there.
Good little catch on the outside, too. He had that quick 5-yard out route, and he caught it kind of on his fingertips going out with it. But, man, took, 4 Mustangs to take him down there?
That's going to move the chains. That'll set up a 1st down and 10. The ball sits at the 12-yard line. Ovard under center, going to give it to Connor Jackson. Fights through, still fighting through. Finally brought down after a gain of 3, it looks like. So it'll be 2nd down and 7. Number 77 is holding up. Looks like somebody lost a towel.
Charlie Neely.
Looking for somebody to claim. Ovard in the shotgun. He wants to throw. He's looking to the right, throwing it up in the air. Number 1. Oh, it dropped.
Just off his hands.
And that's the second pass in this game that he has dropped. He was wide open. He threw a perfect little corner route, and he was wide open. He wants to throw. He's looking to the right, throwing it up in the air. Number 1. Oh, it dropped.
Just off his hands.
And that's the second pass in this.
He passed it just over the top of his head.
Over our two running backs in the backfield. That's given to number 10. That is Andrew Strand. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th down and 10.
Looks like they're going to the field goal unit.
Interesting. They've had trouble converting their last couple extra points as they've kicked pop-ups. One of them just made it over, but why not at this point?
Got the lead,
This will be a 28-yard field goal for the Tigers. Number 72 on the hold. Good snap. It's down, and it's up, and it's blocked.
Oh,
I believe.
Return it.
And it's picked up, and they're going to return it. That's up. I don't know how smart that was. That was Tillery that said it just kind of fell into his hands. He says, okay, well, I guess I'll run with it.
That was a good block on the outside there by number 9, Jonathan Martinez, too. Came screaming off the edge, just got a good tip on the ball, and was able to knock it down. Tillery caught that thing and only about to the 10-yard or so. Oh, no, looks like he's about the 13, 14-yard line.
So on the blocked field goal, Argonaut will take over at the 13, where they'll have it 1st and 10.
Brady Blake still in at quarterback for the Mustangs.
I didn't notice if Mitchell was playing on defense that time.
Oh, ball's on the ground.
Oh, there's another fumble, and I think Argonaut got it back. And I'm not quite sure how, but it looked to me like Argonaut got the football back. I didn't notice if Mitchell was playing on defense that time.
Oh, ball's on the ground.
Oh, there's another fumble, and I think Argonaut got it back. And I'm not quite sure how in that way, but I think Argonaut got the football back.
7 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Still another quarter action here at Dan Barnett Field for the Argonaut Mustangs and the Douglas Tigers.
So a loss on the play back to the 6-yard line, 7-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down. Blake in the shotgun. He's going to hand off straight ahead. Gain of a couple on the play where he's swallowed up by several defenders and thrown back.
And for a quick Mount Merchant scoring update, 4 minutes left in the third quarter at Frank Meyer Field at Calaveras High School, where the score is still Stone Ridge Christian 22 and the Calaveras Redhawks 7.
Calaveras has a new head coach this year, I believe.
Yeah, Manny, I don't remember his last name, but yeah, he is a new head coach. They have a new offensive coordinator over for the Redhawks.
Well, John Hickman was their offensive coordinator last year.
Mikey Sewell,
I believe.
is actually the
is he really?
Yeah, Mikey
I
Sewell's
remember
back.
him playing not too many years ago.
Yep, he's a year older than me, 2014 graduate of Calaveras High School.
So 3rd down and 12 for Argonaut, deep in their own territory after the blocked field goal.
6 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third quarter here at Dan Barnett Field.
So 3rd and long, Blake's going to operate from the shotgun. This has not been a good down and distance for the Mustangs so far tonight. Motion comes from the right side. Blake's going to hand it off, trying to get around there. That's number 16, Padilla. Short gain on the play. That's going to set up a 4th down, and Douglas is going to get good field position as Argonaut's going to be forced to punt.
Looks like Mitchell is going back out to punt the ball. Looks like also number 20, Ace Tisserand, came off limping a little bit to the sideline. For him, he was replaced by number 24, Eddie Quayle.
So Mitchell is on to punt for the Mustangs. Back deep for the Tigers is number 5, Zachary Westbrook.
Ooh, Brady Blake taking the long snapper duties now. Looks like, because Todden, I don't see Jake Todden.
Oh, a low snap. Oh, Mitchell's in trouble. He picks it up, and he's going to be sacked there. And, boy, Douglas is going to have it 1st and 10 from, it looks like, about the 11-yard line. Wow.
Duties now. Looks like, because Todden, I don't see Jake Todden.
Oh, a low snap. Oh, Mitchell's in trouble. He picks it up, and he's going to be sacked there. And, boy, Douglas is going to have it 1st
Ooh, it's a Douglas player. Or, yep,
yeah, it's a Douglas player that's down. 5:10 left to go here in the third quarter as Douglas will have it 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Looks like a cramp maybe. Not sure. Chief Mackey is out there to take a look.
And another shout out to Chief Mackey and Debbie also being down there. They've always been on the sideline for the Argonaut Mustangs for the past about 10 seasons now. Great to have them down there. Been great longtime supporters of the Argonaut Mustangs and, of course, the Ione High Mustangs.
Yeah, you know, there was a great article in the Ledger Dispatch today about Chief Debbie Mackey and the disaster preparedness plan that she has been working on. And there were maps of all the cities in the incorporated areas that you could download on your phone. What do they call those little squiggly boxes, Joey? I'm really showing my age now. Where you could take a picture of and
QR code.
QR codes
QR code
of all the evacuation routes for the county, and she's been working hard on updating all the emergency preparedness evacuation plans. If you haven't had a chance, go to the Ledger Dispatch today, where you can see that article on that, and always something good for everybody to be aware of. So.
I sent a message down to the sideline to ask, where is Jake Todden? He's been playing that tight end, that defensive end, and also he is the long snapper for the Mustangs. Coach Frankie DiGirolamo is down there.
Is he?
Yes, Coach Frankie's right down there. See the big old bald guy right down there. Coach Frankie's down there. He says Todden has a rolled ankle right now. So we're hoping to see Todden maybe back later on in this game.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Tigers. 5:10 left to go in the third quarter, leaving this one 27-0 after the fumbled snap on the punt. Great field position for Douglas. 1st and 10 from the 11. Ovard is going to operate from the shotgun. Connor Jackson, lone receiver, a little slant route to the big receiver, Kuntz. Just a little bit high, couldn't quite haul it in. Incomplete. It'll be second. The punt, great field position for Douglas. 1st and 10 from the 11. Ovard is going to operate from the shotgun. Connor Jackson, lone receiver, a little slant route to the. Yeah, he's long, isn't he?
Yeah.
Straight ahead handoff. Connor Jackson into the end zone, touchdown. His 4th touchdown of the night, an 11-yard run for the Tigers. So 11 yards for Jackson. He's long, isn't he?
Yeah.
Straight ahead handoff. Connor Jackson into the end zone, touchdown. His 4th touchdown of the night, an 11-yard run for the Tigers. They're going to go for 2.
Don't see why they need to.
And they jump. That'll back him up. Trying to get a little head start. That was Strand. Andrew Strand was the up man in the eye back, and that'll back him up 5 yards. He looks like they're still going to go for 2, leading 33-0 here with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Just trying to rub it in?
Well, I don't know. I guess missing those couple extra points, they want to get back on schedule.
I guess.
So over under center. Pitches deep back to
17.
Number 17 gets hit, and he's going to be stopped short. That was Evan. I can't even read my own writing. Dekru. First time we've seen him carry the ball tonight. The 2-point conversion fails.
That's Evan Humans.
So with 5:01 left to go in the third, Douglas leads 33-0. I couldn't even, I wrote it. I can't even read my own writing.
It's all good.
5:01 left to go here in the third quarter. 33-0 Douglas Tigers. It's been all them tonight as the Mustangs have struggled to do much on either side of the football. They're going to be receiving the kickoff with 5:01 left to go in the third. Douglas has been impressive. Quite a turnaround from the team that I saw 1 year ago.
Most definitely. Very, very different team.
We're going to be back here next week as Argonaut will be home again. Amador will be on the road, so we'll be back here. There's a kickoff. It's fumbled. It's kicked forward. Argonaut was able to fall on it. That just could have been disastrous right there. There's a late flag. There's another flag. I believe that's going to be a late hit, a personal foul next week as Argonaut will be home again. Amador will be on the road, so we'll be back here. There's a kickoff. It's fumbled. It's kicked forward. Argonaut was able to fall on it. That just could have been disastrous right there. There's a late flag. There's, I believe, no, not number 12 because I don't have a 12 on the roster. But it's definitely going to go against Douglas.
Might have been 10. Was that Strand?
Once you're down in high school football, your knee is on the ground. The play is dead. There is no reason to make contact after that. That contact was well after that. And the personal foul does go against Douglas. Oh, no, they called it offsetting penalties. I absolutely didn't see that.
Okay. 4 minutes and 52 seconds left here in the third quarter at Dan Barnett Field. The Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas Tigers out of Minden, Nevada.
I absolutely hate that offsetting penalties. That is just such a bailout by the officials. It just
throw them a bone. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I've never quite understood that, but sometimes in a melee it is warranted, but in that situation I didn't see where the offsetting was. So Blake's going to be back in at quarterback. Handoff to number 9 for the Mustangs. That's Jonathan Martinez, and just nothing going there. Matter of fact, a loss of a yard on the play. And, you know, this is all the Argonaut offensive line has just not been able to get off the snap, off the ball all night long. And Douglas has just had penetration, making it really difficult for the Argonaut backs to get any momentum.
It's a speed and a jump thing. They're catching the whole time. You know, the term catching, they're letting them get into, they're letting the defensive line get into them rather than making the push, setting the front, and going forward.
So second down and 11 for Argonaut. Now there's a whistle on the field. The line judge is going to come over and talk to the white hat. I don't know what he saw there. So a stop and play.
Looks like Martinez is out now. I believe he was replaced by number 20, Ace Tisserand, the sophomore.
Well, no harm, no foul as they start the clock. So second down and 11. Maybe they're talking about where they're going to go to Mel's after the game.
Good rush there by Tisserand.
Tisserand gets up to about the 15-yard line, gain of a couple on the play. It'll be third down and long for Argonaut. And they're, again, deep in their own territory. Third and long they've been faced with all night long and just have not had a good conversion rate, giving Douglas just terrific field position all night long.
Thank you again to our game sponsors, by the way, Big Valley Ford, Jackson Tire, Armstrong & Son Construction, Glass Doctor the Gold Country, and our friends over at Toma & Associates. Thank you for your support.
Third down and long. Straight ahead handoff up to about the 30-yard line. Going to be short of the first down. Jackson Tire, we want to congratulate Phil and Wendy Bavaro, selected as Business Person of the Year by the Chamber of Commerce. That dinner is coming up. If you haven't got your tickets yet, make sure you go to the Amador Chamber website.
AmadorChamber.com.
Give them a call, and you can purchase those tickets there. Congratulations to Phil and Wendy Bavaro. Welcome to the club. Fourth down for the Mustangs, and they're going to go for it. Why not?
Hey,
2:31 left to go in the third quarter, 33-0. And a handoff, they're going to be stopped short. They're going to turn it over on Dan. Well,
they might have had a little roll.
Close. Are they going to give him? Nope.
Nope. 1 yard short. Oop, just had to deny a call there. Steven Casillas listening back at home with Dustin and Gio, I'm sure. Shout out to the boys.
Hi, guys.
Also.
Oh, they gave him the first down.
They gave him the first down. Also, I figured I mentioned talking about Steven. Go ahead and get that KVGC radio app. Get like Steven, get the app, KVGC radio app on the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, completely free of charge. KVGC Classic, KVGC Country, KVGC Oldies, and now KVGC Sports.
There you go.
And all of your favorite news and podcasts all in one convenient location on the KVGC radio app.
All right. Well, we appreciate all our listeners. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I still get excited
Tyler
for
Love
the
sent a picture,
beginning
too.
Of the football. Tyler Love.
Tyler Love listening as
there
well.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, Ty. Congratulations, by the way, Tyler. Also got married this summer.
Beautiful wedding up in Tahoe. 1st and 10, Bailey. Oh, there's a horse collar maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a flag. I was wondering when that was going to come out. Grabbed him from behind the shoulder pads. That was Padilla on Tyler Love.
Tyler Love listening as
there
well.
You go. Yeah.
Hey, Ty. Congratulations, by the way, Tyler. Also got married this summer.
Beautiful wedding up in Tahoe. 1st and 10, Bailey. Oh, there's a horse collar maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a flag. I was wondering when that was going to come out. Grabbed him from behind the shoulder.
Had another nice wedding that we went to just this last weekend up in Wyoming.
I saw you were in
well.
Wyoming.
Yeah, Angelo
Neto. Yes, yeah, Fred
Brookley,
Fletcher's neighbor.
Yes,
yes,
yeah, just next door.
Yeah,
yep, we went out
I
there.
saw that. Where in Wyoming were you?
It was Cora. It was in Cora, Wyoming, so about an hour and 30 minutes southeast of Jackson Hole, up at Kendall Valley Lodge.
Okay, I've been to Jackson Hole. I've hunted not far outside of that in the Teton Bridger Wilderness, elk hunting for a number of years. Nice gain on the play right there.
Brady Blake.
On the first down by Blake.
Broken play, but all he did was put his head down and run forward.
Positive yards.
Gain.
Something has been far and few between tonight, so we'll take it any way we can get it, right?
Absolutely. Good run, Brady.
There's a picture of Brady up on the scoreboard there waving his Argonaut flag.
It says hello. Hi, Brady.
All right, 2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4. Blake's going to operate in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Blake straight ahead, handoff, gain up to about the 50-yard line. That was number 20.
20 again. Tisserand.
20. Ace Tisserand.
For the 20th time, a sophomore on varsity this year.
So the ball sits at the 50-yard line. That'll set up a 3rd down and 3. 24 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. It'd be nice to get another 1st down here, maintain possession, keep that Tiger offense off the field, as they have been very productive tonight, especially Connor Jackson with 4 touchdowns, 3 on the first 3 possessions of the 1st quarter. Well over 100 yards on the night for Jackson. There's a timeout by Doug. No, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. All right, that'll do it. We got 3 in the books. Look at the scoreboard. Douglas Tigers 33, Argonaut Mustangs 0. We're going to be back. We got 1 quarter left. Stay tuned. Mother Little League football right after this.
Vehicle. Whether you need new tires or any auto service, Jackson Tire is a dealer you need to know. Visit them at jacksontire.net. That's Jackson Tire. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
And we are back live from Dan Barnett Field in Jackson, California at Argonaut High School for the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers out of Minden, Nevada. Quick look at the scoreboard shows Douglas High 33 and the Argonaut Mustangs 0. Start of the 4th quarter right now. Joey Geedy and Frank Halverson here with our engineer, the new guy, Carter Brashear. Frank?
All right, here we go. Argonaut looking to get some momentum. Anything you can get. This 4th quarter is important for them, Joey. From a coaching perspective, from a player's perspective, any little momentum that they can get here in this 4th quarter that helps them feel a little better about themselves in practice this week leading to week number 2.
Right. Just have a look to something to work on in practice.
Oh, here they come. A blitz around the right side. They kind of beat the blitz on the run up the middle, and it looks like they're going to be close to the first. No, they're going to call him down right at the 50 with no gain on the play, so it'll be 4th down and short. There's no reason for Argonaut not to go for it at this point. They're going to spot it just inside the 50 at about the 49, so call it 1 yard gain on the play, so it'll be 4th down and 2.
Another shout out we got here, Frank. Shout out to Zach Belton. He's home for the first time from the Air Force, about 6 months now. Shout out Zach Belton. Thank you for your service, buddy.
What did you guys call Zach?
Dirty butt.
Dirty butt. Hey, Zach. All right, 4th down.
Oh,
straight ahead
slam.
handoff. Oh, and it looked like he had a little hole, but it was slammed shut. That door was hammered closed by number 42. That's Cole Smalley of Douglas, and Argonaut's going to turn it over on downs. So Douglas is going to have it 1st down on their own 49-yard line.
Defensive unit for the Argonaut Mustangs. You know, there's not too many guys that are coming off from that offense onto the defense. Number 74, Big Zoom Wilson right here is coming off. He's been playing that left offensive tackle for the Mustangs.
That defense has been on the field a lot of minutes tonight.
Yes, they have.
All right, 1st and 10 for Douglas. They've still got all their starters in looking to add on, it looks like to me. Look at those big receivers out to the left. Straight ahead handoff across the 50-yard line into Argonaut territory.
Humans again. 17 humans.
64 in there on the tackle. That's Caleb Wilson, one of the captains for the Mustangs, on the tackle as he crosses over midfield to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. Offset eye.
Ooh.
First man through it. Hit right away. Looked like number 77 for the Mustangs, Charlie Neely. No gain on the play.
Charlie Neely playing that middle linebacker position for the Mustangs. He played there a little bit last season as well, but he's changed his offensive position. He was originally playing fullback. They don't really have a traditional style fullback in this Argonaut offense right now, so he's playing guard now for the Mustangs.
You don't see at number 77 at middle linebacker very often.
No, you don't.
Offset eye, 2nd man through, trying to go over the right side. Short gain on the play, but brought down by number 75, Dylan Bennett for the Mustangs. Short gain, it'll set up a 4th down for the Tigers. There's a player down on the field for the Mustangs holding either
Caleb
his
Wilson, looks like
ankle or his knee. He's
Dylan.
sitting up. It looks like that's number 64, Caleb Wilson. Right now they're going to attend.
Coach Hickman out there right now with him. Looks like he's got a cramp going right now.
Yeah, well, let's get them figured out. Let's get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. 5:01 left to go here in this opening week game. Argonaut Mustangs, Douglas Tigers. We'll be back.
The family of Armstrong & Son Construction and Armstrong Self-Storage are proud to sponsor Motherlode League football. Remember, when you need excavating, grading, septic system repairs, and other site work, call Armstrong & Son Construction. Or if you need a storage unit, stop by Armstrong Self-Storage for safe and secure storage, conveniently located near the intersection of Highway 49 and Ridge Road. Armstrong & Son Construction, state license number 828209. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com. Well,
Wilson walks off under his own power, so that's good to see.
looks like we're frozen.
Shotgun,
right
there's a throw complete to number 2 across the 40-yard line. Makes a move outside, gets across the 35, out still on his feet to the 20, to the 10, into the end zone, touchdown.
Oh, we've lost video stream. If you're listening on YouTube Live right now, apologies.
Trace Estes takes it in from 44 yards out. Just a big run after the catch. Breaking tackles going down the right side for a 44-yard touchdown. So Estes gets in the end zone for his second time tonight. Ovard to Estes on to attempt the extra point. The kick is up. It is good. 8:32 left to go in the contest. Douglas Tigers dominating this one 40. Argonaut Mustangs done. We'll be back for the last 8.5 minutes right after this.
Hey, let's play some football. Mark Borchin here with Glass Doctor. We are so excited that you're doing what you love. When you need auto glass, windshields, and calibration, call Glass Doctor. Ask about our windshield protection plan. And for shower enclosures, foggy, broken windows in your home or business, please remember Glass Doctor, your neighborly company. Visit our showroom at Highway 49 and Jackson Gate Road.
You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
And we are back. 7 minutes and 43 now seconds. It looks like it's a running clock here. The Argonaut Mustangs are sitting at 0. The Douglas Tigers 40. We are live here from Dan Barnett Field at Argonaut High School in beautiful Jackson, California. Joey Geedy, Frank Halverson, and our engineer Carter Brashear live. Frank?
Yeah, it's cooled down nice. It's a beautiful night for a football game. Not too hot. It's going to cool off in the next few days as our hurricane, the first time we've had that warning down in Southern California, I think since 1937, as that's going to hit Baja sometime Sunday, I believe. So it's going to cool our temperatures down, and it actually made for a nice evening tonight for our first football game of the year. Argonaut back to receive, 5:55 left to go. A short kick fielded about the 16-yard line. Gets across the 20 to the 25. Hit and brought down just about the 30-yard line where the Mustangs will have it 1st and 10. We are in a running clock with 6:36 left to go here with a 40-point lead for Douglas, which is the magic number for a running clock in high school football, the 40-point mark. So 1st and 10 for Argonaut at their own 30-yard line.
Also a Mountain Merchant scoring update. At the end of the third quarter, Stone Ridge Christian 22, the Calaveras Redhawks 13.
In comes big number 78. That's Cody Lockwood.
Big Red.
For the Mustangs.
Shout out our boy Big Red. Believe Brady Blake is still in at quarterback. Looks like they have
that doesn't appear to be because of injury.
Well, I think he does. Oh, Brady Blake?
Yeah, because Mitchell has been playing.
Right.
Blake straight ahead handoff. Padilla trying to push the pile forward, gets up to about the 34-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You know, Henry's not a very big guy, but he is fast. And when he gets those legs moving, man, he gets going.
He is not very big, and I'm telling you, him running inside the tackles against that big defensive line, and especially those linebackers for Douglas who have just done a great job filling gaps all night long.
Looks like Douglas has, for the most part now, subbed down.
Well, I would hope so.
Hey, you never
running
know.
clock, 5 minutes left, 40-0.
Might as well.
Blake's going to operate again from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 lone back behind him. He's going to give it to him. That's Padilla again. Gets up to the 35-yard line. Still fighting forward. Then a flag comes in.
Let's see if that's
that is usually against the offense where that flag came in, but we'll see what the call is. Padilla running hard. Initial contact about no gain, and he kept fighting his way forward. That is a holding call against Argonaut. Most of the time you can usually guess what the penalty is by where it's thrown on the play.
Right.
And that right there is almost always a holding call against the offense. So that's going to back them up to the 34-yard line, where it'll make it 2nd down and 7.
And another Mountain Merchant scoring update. 34-6, Somerville over Gustine in the 3rd quarter. And right now, the Oakdale Mustangs 27 and the Sonora Wildcats 12 also in the 3rd quarter.
Blake operating the shotgun. They're going to give it again to Padilla, trying to get around the edge, and he cuts it inside. He's going to gain a couple on the play as he crosses the 35-yard line to about the 37.
He's shifty.
It'll set up a 3rd down and a couple for the Mustangs. Clock continues to run with 3:20 left to go in the ball game.
I believe that Cody Lockwood, number 78, replaced Caleb Wilson, number 64, who I believe he did have a cramp. Looks like he's walking around on the sidelines right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to jog it off a little bit, stretching a little bit, kicking those legs. Not unusual, first game of the year.
Right.
To have some cramping issues for sure.
Get that pickle juice on the sideline.
3rd down and short. My old buddy, Coach Fred Fletcher, he knows about that pickle juice. That guy cramps up more than anybody I know. That was a jump on the defense. Very late flag. He got back,
you see
but they finally threw it, and that's going to give the Mustangs a 1st down.
That line judge on the far side, he saw he just grabbed his flag out.
Well, he didn't really want to throw it. He says, let's just let this clock keep going. And then finally he said, well, I guess I got it.
Yeah.
And he throws it out. So that'll give the Mustangs a 1st down, move the ball up to the 43-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. Padilla, the lone back behind Blake.
Oh, ball's on the ground.
At fumble, and Douglas has it. Oh, it's still loose. Blake tried to fall on it.
Padilla's coming up real
Nope,
soft.
Douglas has it. The 3rd fumble recovery for Douglas on the night. So they will take over after the fumble at the 40-yard line, where they'll have it 1st and 10 from the Argonaut 40. Minute 43 left. I would guess that Douglas would just be satisfied with running this clock out. They could actually kneel down 3 times with the running clock, and this ball game will be over, as they're letting it run down inside of minute 25 right now. I would assume that they're going to go to victory formation, and that'll do it for this ball game tonight.
Looks like the Mustangs defensive backfield is in a prevent style defense right now. Brady Blake sitting back around 15 yards behind.
Yeah, they're going to
ball.
go victory formation. They're going to kneel it down, finish off this last minute and 5 minutes. A very impressive first game by the Douglas Tigers. There's the first kneel down. Quite a contrast from the Douglas Tiger team we saw in the opening game last year. Congratulations to them for getting turnaround, and they've got some playmakers out there.
Oh, they definitely did. I mean, we've got a lot to cover in that post game, but man, Connor Jackson, what a game.
Connor Jackson and Estes makes up 6 of their touchdowns. Jackson had 4, Estes had 2. Great showing by the quarterback, Jackson Ovard, and just some big targets out there. Number 99, Kuntz, and that'll do it as the final seconds tick off the clock. Game 1 is in the books. The Douglas Tigers, in dominant fashion, take this one 40. The Argonaut Mustangs 0. We will be back with our post-game wrap right after this.
For all your land surveying and civil engineering services, call Toma & Associates at 223-0156. Whether you're building a fence and need to know where the property line is to complete boundary surveys, Toma & Associates can help. Lot surveys, boundary line adjustments, parcel and subdivision maps, FEMA certificates, septic and grading plans, among the many services Toma & Associates provides. Call 223-0156, serving the Mother Lode since 1967.
Remember when going for a walk around the block was easy and pain-free? Future you is ready to feel like that again. Mark Twain Medical Center's orthopedic experts are with you throughout the process, from first consultation to your last physical therapy session, so you can get back to living without joint pain, and future you can wander far and wide. Visit marktwainmedicalcenter.org/orthopedics. Mark Twain Medical Center. Hello, human kindness. You're listening to high school football action on the voice of the Gold Country, KVGC and KVGCradio.com.
And we are back for the Mark Twain Medical Center post-game wrap-up show, live from Dan Barnett Field for the Argonaut Mustangs against the Douglas High Tigers out of Minden, Nevada. Joey Geedy, Frank Halverson, and our engineer Carter Brashear. Frank?
Well, you know, not a whole lot of positives to take away from this game if you're the Mustangs. It was all Douglas from early on. Argonaut first possession gave Douglas the ball at the Argonaut 29-yard line, and the first play from scrimmage turned into a 29-yard touchdown from Connor Jackson. Argonaut's next possession resulted in a punt, and Douglas, after a good return at great field position again at the Argonaut 39-yard line, and again the very first offensive play, Jackson goes 39 yards for the second touchdown to put them up 14-0. Argonaut in their third possession punted again. Douglas had the ball at the 36-yard line, drove it down, and who else? Connor Jackson takes it in from 22 yards out for his third touchdown of the night and a 21-0 lead. Argonaut next possession, something we saw was a pretty dominant factor in this game. They punted again, and the first quarter ran out with Douglas having the ball at 21-0 lead. They turned that into a score over to Estes on a 10-yard touchdown pass to make it 27-0 after an interception by Weston, and the halftime score was 27-0 Douglas, and there was just nothing that Argonaut really got going on offense the whole first half, and Douglas pretty much dominated on both sides of the ball for a 27-0 lead. Argonaut comes out getting the opening kickoff of the second half. The first possession, they fumbled. Douglas drove down, and they fell short on a blocked field goal, but Argonaut was not able to do anything with the ball. On fourth down, they had a fumbled snap, and Douglas was able to turn that into points. 11-yard touchdown by Connor Jackson, again his fourth touchdown of the night at the 5:01 mark in the third quarter. That's how the third quarter ended, a 33-0 advantage. Argonaut would then turn it over on downs, and Douglas started at their own 44-yard line, a 44-yard touchdown over to Estes, his second touchdown catch of the night that made it 40-0 with 8:19 left to go in the ball game. Argonaut fumbled again, and the clock ran out as we were into a running clock with the score 40-0, and that's how this contest ended. We did not have a call of the game, our Mellon Phase call of the game. We just didn't have one tonight. Our Jamba Juice player of the game, we're going to give to number 16, Henry Padilla, who, boy, he gave all the effort he could all night long, running hard against a very stout Douglas defensive line, as well as those linebackers who were filling those holes all night long. Also made some nice plays on the defense. So Henry Padilla is going to be our Jamba Juice player of the game. Very impressive first game for the Douglas Tigers. As I mentioned earlier, quite a turnaround for this Douglas team we saw last year, who won one game all season long, and that was the opening matchup against Argonaut, 20-0, and it looks like they've got their program headed in the right direction.
Right, Frank. And, you know, I think that tomorrow for the Argonaut Mustangs, it's going to be a very, very long, busy film session for them. I think that today showed quite a lot of the disparities that I think, you know, you have with just learning a new program. I mean, just learning a new system for your offense. Of course, your quarterback going down, switching off your different quarterback. three of their starting running backs, all seniors, went down at the beginning of the game. So very tough for them to bounce back from that. Defensively, again, I just think that, it was the Connor Jackson show. The Connor Jackson SDs, I mean, those guys just played hard. I mean, the size difference between this Douglas team and the Argonaut Mustangs was very noticeable. Very noticeable.
Well, and something we pointed out in the pregame show, one of the question marks of the Mustang had coming in, when Hansen was in last year as a freshman quarterback, you looked like maybe you were going to have some stability that was going to carry you through the next 3 years. He leaves, and as I said, that was going to be a question mark. Quarterback on a football team is arguably the most important position of any position in any sport. And they're trying to fill that void and trying to find somebody that's going to give them stability there. Excuse me. The other problem that they really had, they had a lot of false starts tonight. And I think that the line just seemed to be a little hesitant on the snap count. They weren't getting off, so they weren't getting that push. And the defense was much more aggressive, making penetration on the snap and not allowing any running lanes for those backs. Padilla ran hard, but it was just a tough night for that offensive line against this big Douglas Tiger defensive front.
And 3 fumbles really doesn't help out. I mean,
that never helps out.
So.
The fumbles and
interception.
the interception. They had an interception and 3 fumbles. So 4 turnovers usually doesn't spell well on the scoreboard for any football team.
Right.
And certainly tonight that proved to be tough for the Mustangs.
Right. I think it's back to the drawing board. Next week is going to be a whole new week for them. Another tough opponent that they're going to be facing for the Argonaut Mustangs. So I think that this next week is going to be, again, back to the drawing board for it. It's going to be a long film session for both teams, both programs, the JV and the varsity program. I think we're going to have to, go back and watch a little bit of film and, regroup and recoup.
Well, the message as a coaching staff you have, look, we need to work on getting better each day.
Right.
Okay, you need to take what you can from this game, work on that, and try to improve every day. Just get better. You've got a young program, you've got a new head coach, and everybody just needs to feel more comfortable in their roles, and so they've definitely got some work to do. But we're excited to have football back here after week 1. It was not a good night for the Mustangs as the Douglas Tigers win this one, going away 40-0. But we'll be back here next week because it's Friday Night Lights and it's high school football, and we love it and glad to be back. Glad you stayed with us. Glad you watched. Glad you listened to it on the radio wherever you were. We thank you. We thank our sponsors. Again, our pregame sponsor, Camps Propane. Our game sponsors, Big Valley Ford, Jackson Tire, Armstrong & Son Construction, the Glass Doctor, Toman & Anderson. Our halftime report was from Conifer Communications. And you're listening to our postgame wrap from Mark Twain Medical Center. Postgame show for Joey Geedy, Frank Halverson, Jim back at the studio, and, of course, our new engineer, Mr. Brashears.
Hop in, Carter. Give a wave.
Come on in, Carter. Come in the
give a wave.
camera here. Let's take a look at this young man. So he's going to be with us this year, and we'll be back next week for week number 2. Thanks again, folks. Our final score, Douglas Tigers 40, Argonaut Mustangs 0. We'll see you next week.
Remember when going for a walk around the block was easy and painless?